in content creation is present in analysis and even verification. Tools can summarize documents. You can, at the snap of your finger, write it. We're having so many options. That's the reality. Every day, I see people are watching this, presenting this, and all that. All you need to do to have the book is to just have an idea. Just have an idea. Give it a title. Come up with a context. And share it with AI. The rest they say is what? History. Because it will give you the book you'll be learning for. And that's the reality. AI can also detect deepfakes, images. If you go on the social media today, you have so many things. Some of them, you'll be so confused as to what you're seeing. Most of them are fake. But with artificial intelligence, you can easily detect which is real and of course which is fake. It can track sentiments. Now for communicators, AI is both a tool and a challenge. It's a tool that will improve your job for you, make things easy. But at the same time, it's a huge challenge. I've traveled to some parts of the world where they no longer talk about human news anchors. They no longer talk about human news anchors. It's news that like this, the station I want.
You're on to GTV Africa, live from Abuja.
They now have a
Precisely.
creation
Kefi. Kefi is National State.
and you think that person is Aisha.
NUJ, FCT.
No. But they've been able to successfully
It's organizing 3 days workshop
that's not
for
enough
journalists.
to.
The 3 days Hacker System workshop is for information media officers, which is to enhance public image, strategic communications, media visibility in the digital era. Currently speaking and giving lecture
Social media as a new form
is the former NUJ president,
we are talking about emerging
Dr.
trends.
Chris
I think that
CIsigizo.
is here with us.
Is going to be taking information management in the digital era.
If you wake up in the morning and you are
Challenges.
to your office,
Let's continue to listen to him,
and newspaper calls.
get
Is
more
it true?
information, and be part of
You see,
the
because
workshop right from Kefi.
they read the newspaper, print out association. After reading, there will be arguments. That used to be the public square. But that public square has left the newspaper to where? The social media. That is the same thing we used to do at the newspaper stand. Now, if you are moving, you can hardly find people at those stands. Because that square has moved to the social media. You now create platforms, WhatsApp groups, people throw in one story, one news item, and conversation begins. That has now become the new public square. That's the reality we are facing today. You can have all forms of conversation that can make or mar the system from that square. That is what the social media has, of course, provided. For millions, social media is their first and sometimes only source of news. Social media. Most people will tell you, I don't have money to. What am I going to pick the newspaper? I have it. I can read it on the go. All they need to do is to just get data. But let me show. Oftentimes, you even spend on reading those news articles on your phone than picking the coffee. But you don't know. because they take the money without you knowing. That's the reality. So for some people, millions, social media is their first source of news. Oftentimes, it's also their only source of news. That's the stage where we are. These next platforms extremely powerful shapers of public perception. If the social media has become their first and only source of news, it simply means that social media can also shape the way you think. Social media can also change their perception. Social media can also influence their behavioral patterns. That's what social media can do. Now you can see how powerful it is. Social media can send people to war. That's reality. I recall a colleague in Southern Kaduna. He got a call from somebody, and that person said that so group of people, they invaded social community and they have killed people, and where are you? Please stay safe. He's a journalist, he was telling this. Journalists used to work with Ghana. And the next thing the person did was to sit down. Based on that thing he heard, he scribbled the story, sent to Lagos. That became the banner for Vanguard the next day. But the next day the story was out, it now cost reprisal. Meanwhile, nothing happened. Somebody was on the bike, he merely looked at his Facebook and saw a post. Call his supposed friend that is in Kaduna. Look at what is happening. The supposed friend, without verifying, published it. And that now led to reprisal. People were killed. Houses were burned because of one social media story. That's what social media is. Of course, eventually it was planned to detention, jailed for some time. We all went there, and the glory of God is out there. But that's what social media is. Though a tool is also a challenge. Now, another emerging trend, the rise of citizen journalism. I did say earlier on, audiences are not just people who read, they are equally participants in the reality that we have. With your smartphone and not too smartphone, with your Android phone and less of them, you can become a citizen journalist. And that has clearly removed a major component of news dissemination, and that is the gatekeeper is removed. Because citizen journalist is not reporting to anybody. He's only reporting to himself once. Capture it, throw it out. As you speak, you cannot count the number of blogs that we have. You cannot say the number of online platforms that we have. Because all it takes you to do is to hold your phone and you play to watch. You don't even need to register. You become a vlogger. It is only when you get to the houseware that you will realize that I cannot be there. So what rise in citizen journalism? With smartphones and data, anyone can publish anything. This, to a very large extent, democratizes information. The best information available without restriction. Yes, we want it available. That is what the reality we have now, that's what it has ended us. Nobody restricts you. It's available for everybody. You can become a journalist from your traffic corner. Very easy. But at the same time, what does it do? It gives life to misinformation. It amplifies it. So much as we have democratized information management, we are also giving life to spread of misinformation. That's the reality we have. Data-driven communication. Communication is increasingly scientific. Decisions are guided by analytics, what works, who engages, when they engage, and why. Now we also have a very key tool that we have. That's the multimedia storytelling. People want stories, not just statements. As information officer, it's not just about your statement. You have to give them the real thing. Because oftentimes the statement is just what the government, what they want us to hear. But the audience must move from that level. The audience is no longer just relying on their statement. People who want stories, they want videos, infographics, animations, and short videos. If you go to your phone, your Facebook for instance, and you make a post, normal post, maybe a picture, and at the same time, you change that picture to real. Now take that and watch, which spreads fast. You are the same person making the same post. Normal picture, turn the picture to real. You will see the number of people that are viewing that meme. And that's to tell you that people are no longer interested with just the mere statement or mere picture. They want to go beyond it. That's the power of multimedia. The story is told better. And the people easily embrace it. You are playing video, graphics, animations. In fact, I have the National Orientation Agency. That's one thing they have introduced with the new Director General, Larry Saudi. He has introduced animation. Every evening, take time to watch the major television stations. You have newer animations. They are trending everywhere, and we are communicating faster. The message is sinking deeper than what it used to be. It's no longer about now we're coming up with statements. He is breaking it down, explaining it, describing it, making it to be in sync, resonate with the people. So you can see we're going away from just yesterday. That's multimedia. You cannot just have an Android phone, a good iPhone, and what you just reading is text message and the call. Then you should better go and buy touch screens. Now, pressing challenges in information management. We have looked at the trends. Number one, misinformation. And that's fake news. You have disinformation, you have disinformation, you have malinformation. When you turn information to that propaganda, it might just be true, but you tweak it because propaganda. When you know the truth and deliberately decide to spread the falsehood. Now, when you know the truth, you don't know how to communicate it. You know the truth, but you don't know how to communicate that truth. Sometimes the way you now communicate it will literally deceive the people. All of them together, they are talking about fake news. Now, disinformation, malinformation, that's a major challenge we have in this new era. As you know, falsehood travels faster, oftentimes, than truth. speed of digital dissemination makes correction difficult and sometimes ineffective. Information is now traveling at the speed of light. At the speed of light. Now, this is the connection. There is another charging point at that end. Somebody just pressing this on, and you put your hand there. It will shock you, right? That is the speed with which information travels. It no longer waits for anyone. So at the same time, if you spread misinformation, spread things, it travels at the speed of light. Most times, it's difficult to record it. By then, the information would have gone. Let me tell you, sometime last week, or a fortnight ago, between that, the Ministry of Information released a list. 47 schools, government schools that were shut down as a result of what? Insecurity in parts of the north. They withdrew it. It just happened that when they were tracking the list, they were supposed to have 41 schools. Somebody saw it and included 6, quickly released it. All 9 media platforms picked it. By the time the Federal Ministry of Information now tightens up the final list, the first one is already out. 47 schools shut down. Now 41 came. People were looking at it and became more confused. The person that worked for us at the Ministry of Information was like, it's 41. I said, but I have 47. Now, it became a challenge for us to communicate the right one and withdraw the wrong one that was already out there. So, because of the speed that this thing travels, information travels, recalling the fake one now often becomes difficult. You know how the people that read the first will have the potential of reading the corrected verse, the right one. Speed and accuracy. Information officers face the pressure to publish quickly. Yet accuracy remains a core professional responsibility. It's not just about who breaks the news first. That's actually the competition that online platforms are facing. It's about who breaks it first. In the case, if you are not careful, you get yourself into trouble. Breaking news. Breaking news. Just in. Breaking news. Just in. Oftentimes, what just came in is fake news. Because they are writing to fake news so that people will be able to read it first before the other ones begin to release their own. But in the process of doing this, they forget a key ingredient, key feature of a good news item: accuracy. Once what you are getting out is not accurate, the credibility of your platform is thrown to dust. That's the reality. But that is also the reality we face. In a bid to break it first, speak. I have not said speak is wrong. But while you are rushing to break it, make sure that what you are breaking is the right information. Because if you end up making the wrong one, that has capacity to cause men, to cause chaos, to cause fear. And if you are communicating fear, chaos, and then you are not a media practitioner. You are not a professional. Because no matter what you do, if what you're going to dish out is going to put this place crossfire. Then it's better to just write. Let's cement where we are. Right? That's it. Digital literacy gaps. Many institutions operate analog systems. That's a reality, especially the public institutions. Because there is difficult, as we speak today, the security agencies, most of them are yet to digitize their system. Most of our ministries, departments, and agencies of government are yet to digitize their operations. And that leaves them with a moribund, better abandoned analog system. And there's no way you are going to flow, operate analog in a digital era, and you expect to move at the speed of light, right? It's not possible. It's like when you have a torchlight and somebody has an iPhone 16 Pro Max. Are you operating at same scale? It's not possible. It's not possible. This will create delays, cost inefficiencies, and there will be fatigue. When you are struggling with that your analog system. Meanwhile, misinformation is already operating at the speed of light. You are still trying to type is what you are using. Before you catch up with misinformation, the whole country is on fire. Because there will be vacuum. That vacuum you are expected not to create will be filled by purveyors of misinformation. Ethical challenges. Selective disclosures, manipulations, and propaganda weaken the credibility of official information. I referenced propaganda earlier on. Sometimes, the government, they decide what they give to give you. I recall someday, I was driving from Enugu to Aba, and before my very eyes, there was an accident. Ghastly accident. Terrible. A bus, a 2-seater bus, and a truck. Everybody, 18 of them in that bus died. Oh, not one. I was just looking at it because I was following the bus. So it happened, I saw it. I had to stop. I even carried some of the bodies to the nearest federal medical center and all that. I was the one that called the commissioner of police. I was the one that called the sector commander or commandant of the Roset. Now come and see statement later again. 6 persons lost their life. So what times? The issue of selective disclosures, we manipulate it. We don't want to communicate the real thing. Sometimes it's not completely out of place. Because government will also weigh the mood of the audience. So that you don't inflame the quality. But these things don't conform with ethics. Because when you're talking about ethics, you must say it the way it is. So this is one of the challenges now. Government gives you, as information officers, propaganda, and of course, when you dish out propaganda, you're not talking about credibility anymore. Now we want the issue of cyber security. Information is vulnerable to hacking, leaks, and manipulation. Yes, whatever you have, you think you have the phone that's working, is foolproof, you've locked everywhere. In fact, WhatsApp will tell you step verification, you do it. But let me tell you, that your phone is not full. more so with the generation we have now, this young people. So because of this challenge, we also have it proper in our operation. So protecting digital assets is now a communication imperative. Anyhow you can protect the facility, do so. But there are people, their only job, when you wake up in the morning and tell your family, I'm going to work, is to hack your phone. There's no hard work to get there. I've talked about them. If I want to told me, you know when I graduated, you people have refused to give us job. We have given ourselves work. I told him, okay, don't worry, I'm going to use it. If I give you work now, will you stop it? He said, yes, he will stop. I said, send me your CV, lie, so that you will catch me. Now, based on these challenges that we have identified, how do we respond? Number one, we must build a modern communication infrastructure, active websites, responsive social media handle, timely updates, and digital documentations. This, of course, will help you as information officer. We must develop fact-checking skills. Yes, we have a whole lot of organizations that can help us develop that. Even with your AI, you can develop your fact-checking tools on your phone and your laptop. Yes, in your office, your computers, and all that. So that when you see our information, we have tools. Now, when you see a picture on social media, you can easily say when that picture was taken. If you are going for a visa interview now, for instance, United States, you must bring a picture, a passport that is not older than 6 months. Now, in reality, this is fine passport. How would they know that this picture had lasted for 2 years? All they need to do to find out is to place it on their system. They will have to take that picture. So you would deny yourself that visa when you go and tell them that this picture is 2 years. That means it's still the first line. You will not get visa. So these things are available as an information officer, so that you don't get easily carried away by what you read on social media. You have to ensure that you have these facilities that will help you, operate. There must be a verification test or unit to combat rumors and misleading narratives. I want to commend the UJ City Council for putting this capacity building workshop together, because it is one area as a media professional you must invest capacity building. Training must be continuous and future oriented. You don't, because of what we learned yesterday, you say, I can do it. I have people that will look at some of us and be like, do you know where I started? Just give my little girl your phone now, and she will tell you everything that is there. She's not 15 yet. Some of these things, the regular book cannot operate it. Some of these facilities, 6-year class. Oh my God. So we must invest in training, capacity building, every day. AI tools. If you go on social media today, there's this organization that advertises 30 days you learn 30 AI tools. Just shut down and take time. Stop. Use 30 AI tools in 30 days. When you come to this kind of gathering, you have come to learn. Yes, you'll be learning. When you come here, you do what? Unlearn, and now do what? Relearn. Because if you catch those things, you are having on your head and talking. The work they are bringing you are going. So you must have to relearn. Analytics, multimedia skills, crisis communication, and cybersecurity literacy. You must build yourself to be able to appreciate all this. Adopt better living practices. Analytics help tailor messages, understand your audience, and measure your effectiveness. Strengthen ethical foundations. Credibility remains the most valuable asset an information manager can possess. Now, till tomorrow, there are people that we have first public relations officers that we have refused to forget their names. Am I right? Do you agree with me? There were people we had as first public relations officers that each time you want to talk about them, you remember their names. Because they were unique during their own time. Yes. They were able to build that credibility over time. That when they talk, they have become institutions. So as an information officer, the biggest thing you cannot toy with is your credibility. Once anything happens to it, okay, that's the most valuable asset actually. People remember stories more than statements. We talked about these videos, photos, graphics, enhance message retention. The video you have shared, it will make them remember that statement better than the statement you sent out. So the way you were able to put it, amplify the statement with all these modern tools we have. Of course, we talked about the challenge of cyber security. All we need to do is to prioritize it, protect institutional data, digital identities, and communication channels. Looking ahead, the future of information management will introduce even more advanced. You think we are seeing tools, we are just seeing little. The White House will say, you can't see the tools we have now, those tools are wilding us. We are just starting. The future of information management will introduce even more advanced tools, deepfake detection, blockchain verification, and immersive storytelling technologies. But while tools will change, the fundamentals remain the same. The fundamentals when you come to media management, they don't change. So if you are carried away by the tools that have emerged, and we no longer pay heed or respect to the fundamentals, then we have thrown away professionalism. The fundamentals remain the same. So if you are carrying food and not food, you don't pay attention to the fundamentals. But when you identify the fundamentals, when you talk about news management, number one is the truth. What you're spreading must be what? Truth. Anything short of truth is not news you are additional. It's fake news you are additional. It's the wrong information you are additional. If what you are spreading is not truth. Number two, it must be what? Credible. Must be credible. Must be verified. If you try to check it, it happens. Number three, transparency. And of course, I talked about professionalism. At the same time, balance. Oftentimes, you need to rush and bring it out. We forgot that the other party should have the same. Where this issue of balance is more pronounced is in broadcasting. Even when you are bringing guests to a show, you must balance them. You must balance them. As a newsman and newswoman, you don't have opinion when you are writing news. But when you decide to write features, analysis, at that time you sit down and bring your professional opinion. This is your position. That is why columnists, when they write, they will put their details. This is from Mr. ABC. It's not the opinion of that newspaper. is the opinion of that writer. So if you don't pay heed to these fundamentals, then I wonder what you're writing. Now I will be concluding with this. We are living in a time when information is abundant, but trust is scarce. Information is available to everybody. Reliability is not available. You cannot rely on the quantum of information that is available. The responsibility of every information manager, journalist, or communication professional is to bridge that gap through matching of technology, sensitivity to audience needs, adherence to ethics, and constant pursuit of accuracy. It is when you master these very important fundamentals that you'll be able to bridge the gap between the quantum availability of news and the limited trust, what is simply called trust deficit. The digital era offers incredible opportunities as long as we are prepared to engage, adapt, and innovate. The opportunities are incredible. With your phone, you can make a living. You don't need to sit down and say, I have done it. When you are carrying iPhone 16 Pro Max, that logo is a big institution. All you need to do is to sit down, adapt, innovate. You must be innovative. You must come up with new ideas. You must equip yourself properly. You must be able to hold the ground. When you do this, you call yourself a thoroughbred professional. I will leave you with this. If you open your phone now, and what you're looking for is good food in Abuja. You look at good food once, twice. The next thing is Facebook will need to bring in good food. Have you noticed it? They will force you, now listen, they will force you to be looking at good food. There are friends you have that you want to that they see your friends because you want good food. You'll be enjoying it. Come on, give that credible information back, and you see the difference of professional. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Please, we have the vice
From Abuja, you just listen to what the lecturer
Thank you very much, Dr. CIsigizo, for that question.
and as you can see that
Vegetarian and changing a lot of information
gradually to the point
and the results have been
everyone can see this is like friends. But
Thank you very much.
I have with me the vice chairman. Today asking from him is feeling. Hello, sir. Good afternoon. How do you see the lecture given by former President CIsigizo?
We have questions.
See that
Hello.
all the participants
Any questions?
pay attention to the lecture very well
Are we
because it's telling them something new. It brought me knowledge on how to be a good information officer or media officer. It talks about trends in communication. It talks about development in communications. It talks about challenges of modern communication in digital age, and it also talked about how these challenges can be tackled in modern ways. So all this leads to one thing: how to be a better information or media officer. in the digital era.
Do you think this is going to benefit the majority of journalists that the NUJ is training right now?
Very well, very well. A journalist must be at par with the current era, with the current digital era. So this lecture will elevate journalists that participate here to be at the par, to be at a level where you can actually tackle the challenges of modern communication in the digital era.
Thank you so much. We'll continue to join and let's join question and answer.
Okay, no
Thank you
problem.
so much.
Our new journalism practice. I have not insisted that we must continue with the analog method, but I know that in our journalism training practice, where we have to go to the news coverage to find out where they're saying, we balance it, we just have to go to the other side, balance it, and after writing, making sure somebody who predicts you, somebody edits you, and then maybe a day deeper before this information is dished out to the general public. But this is, just like you have said, this time is not perfect, is no check, no balance, no. And I ask, what has happened to newspaper tabloid? Is it there? Thank you. Let's see some of the Okay, we just got together another person, please. Thank you so much, John. I really learned a lot from your presentation. My name is Vicky Alone from Nasemi. You touched on misinformation, and all this. These are the things that bother us a lot. Is it possible for the NUJ to troubleshoot this issue? Can there be a fact-finding platform or a fact-checking platform by the NUJ to assist journalists at this time, at least to troubleshoot this very important aspect? Thank you. Next.
Your home live to GTV Africa live from Kefi, Nasarawa State, where the workshop for journalists is on. The first lecture, we're on question and answer. Let's continue to listen to question and answers in the house.
Number of schools that should be shut down, 47 went out, and much later, actually get at work. So in situations like this, how do we salvage circumstances like this? How do you correct what has come out already? Because somehow it affects credibility of that particular institution. So what do we do when we have troubling moments like this? Then secondly, how do you become an institution like go beyond the usual press statement? He said, so that your audience can actually always want to have, keep in touch with you. They are in tune with this particular institution, and when they see stories like this, they can actually go home. They know it is factual, they know it is credible. So how do we build credibility when it comes to dishing out press statements like this? And then let's bring this down to information officers here, particularly as journalists. Also, it's tied to the second question, how do we go beyond the usual and say the same? And we, an institution like the master of the whole thing, you're forming a particular association, and in the court, somebody needs to score it. The person knows that, yes, this person knows this for our audience.
It is time for response to the majority of the questions that you brought in.
Thank you very much. Osisa, talking about if our newspapers are packing up what is happening to. I think when I was speaking earlier, I made reference to the issue of gateways, which is absent in very absent. Oftentimes, the online platforms, because most of the online platforms are there's what we call the non-conventional organizations. They are not governmental individuals, not organizations. So most of these platforms are operated just by individuals. The individual is the person sourcing the information. The individual is the person editing the information. The individual is the person publishing the information. That's the challenge we have. Because for an organization to be there are protocol you must not have. One person cannot be publisher, same person is the editor, the same person is the editor. Not contributed. Much as we have 1,000,001 online platforms, but whenever you want to do an online certificate, you go to the one million. You as a journalist, you also know the online to go, right? You will run to premium tax, right? You run to the cable, you run to daily posts. These are strong platforms that are not just operated by an individual. These are organizations. And these organizations, they don't toy with the gatekeepers. When you bring the story, which is very, very important, the gatekeeper must look at it. Whether you are qualified to enter the you. If you are not wanted case, you and your story will end as. That's the complicated. Look at your story, the areas you really need it up. If you are not taking into consideration the fundamentals, then you take it power stop. Right? That's a reality. So the newspapers are not dead. If you have issue now and you need to drag somebody to court, you don't rush to all the media outlets. There are issues you have, you need CTC from National Library, right? Is it not the newspapers? So they are still there. They are not dead. The only thing they need to do is to up their. Most of the newspapers we have today are also on the social media. I always say this: one sure way to reduce fake news is for the professionals to invade social media. Because most of the people, in fact, there are people that call themselves social media influencers. They are not trained, they don't know about it. They are only enjoying having fun. Yes, but I'm trying to be professionals. If I shop to be a shop, if I ask how many people are here on Twitter. On Twitter. If you're on Twitter, let's see your hand. On Twitter. Stop. You can see you. And if you're active on Twitter, let me see your hand. You don't see your hand. On Twitter. You are not engaging. You are not engaging. Sometimes when you see a statement, all you need to, the first verification tool is if Dr. Nicholas has you saw something on Facebook, the first place for you to rush to confirm is to go to his Twitter handle and see if that statement you have read is there. That is the first way to verify it. Oftentimes, the president wants to communicate. Where does he post it? Twitter. So when you just read something, you don't need to be
begin to look, is it real, is it fake? Go to his handle. By the time you check his handle, you see, you check his communication team, their handles, by the handle. So the time these people come to mind immediately, they will also have the same thing on their handle. You have already verified it without even getting any tools. So if you want to check free flow of misinformation, fake news, it's for you to go to that same place and make sure that not only that you are there, you must be active. So most of these newspapers have social media platforms, most of the television stations, and they have active people who operate those platforms, so that they'll be able to catch up. You know, in fact, the meeting I just said before stepping in here into this hall, but that was quite discussing. In getting more hands, employing more people to be able to handle the social media handles, so that as they are dropping, because nobody is waiting for you to read your news at 9 o'clock again. People want to get the news, as they are driving on the road, they are getting it from you. And that's why you feel credibility. You are not just giving the news, you are fast in delivering it. Your news is always accurate. Let me tell you, there are so many online platforms that we are there for cable. But if I tell you how much cable makes from international donors, premium time, when there's a global competition, they go into it. People we have a million and one platform there. They don't the answer. They are facing us here. But when they go to the global competitive platform, our people know they. LUJ, they are asking you to troubleshoot on this issue and of course create platform. It's not difficult, madam. You have the LUJ channel there. And the national leadership is there. It's not difficult, like I referenced some fact-checking tools. I want to believe it because of this training. It's one of the things that I'm giving to you. So that on your phone you can sit down and fact check. It's something you can do on your phone. I talked about pictures, you know, when the president traveled to Rome for the inauguration of the Pope. You know, there were pictures coming from them. There was even a particular picture where Peter was kneeling on the floor. And there was something like that. That's why you will not see it in any credible media house platform. You will not see them. Then you should ask later, why are they not using it? You will be seeing it on all these functions online. They will publish it, they don't care. Because they are not taking anything. Their own is putting their traffic. Whether it is right or wrong, but you don't know you are destroying your own credibility. It's a matter of time. Nobody will come to your platform again. That's very. There's a particular platform that is becoming notorious now. I won't mention it. It's becoming notorious. They can just publish anything. They don't care. But then you also tell you as a journalist, you don't have a limit. Have it at the back of your mind. Before you go out and look for trouble and start looking for grace to come and excuse you, make sure that you are carrying your Bible. That Bible is know the rules. We have a cybercrime prohibition act 2015 and then between the 2024. Go ahead. If somebody posts something on Facebook, you can't like it. You're an accomplice. You can be arrested. Someone shares something on your WhatsApp, you go and forward this. Is there anything you like happen? Now you like it. You can be picked up. We have 5 journalists that we are arrested. They got something. These 5 persons, they have where they are working. They went and opened blog and started abusing the enemy of guaranteed trust. The man didn't come and arrest me, just wrote petition, they wrote petition for this thing, they are picked up. and landed the prison custody. They were calling us for them. Every minute they were calling me, including one I was insulting at some point. I said, I won't be willing to write nonsense. I know that this will catch up. Be careful, you are a journalist. There is very shocking. As you speak today in Nigeria, there is no single law anywhere that protects journalists. Yes. Before you start making speech, I'm saying section 22 of the 1999 Constitution, it has become a common place. Section 22 of the chapter this and chapter that. It will not protect you. What that section has done is to give you silence. And it is okay to going after the line with parents. That's exciting. There should be accountability, there should be transparency, there should be good governance. The media, you must say, it is your assignment, responsibility of the media, that's where it ends, no protection. In the process of catching this line, the line of the vows, here's no protection. So, you will not be mindful of that. Not the Constitution, not the Freedom of Information Act, not more. Rather, there are laws that will deal with us. We are still pleading and making a problem. There are some certain laws decriminalized. We are still talking about that. But they are there. We still have laws of libel. We have laws of standard, and less of them. We have, criminal code, penal code, and less of them. They're all there. The same is applicable to any journalist in Nigeria. The same is applicable to you as a journalist. Sometimes the only people that have the ability in Nigeria to take the president, the vice president, the governors, deputy governors. That's all. They don't act why they are in chambers. So whatever they say inside that chamber will not be held against the outside. But if they think the chamber come to the front of National Assembly, they are not left the vicinity and say it. The Senate President can arrest them. So just bear that in mind. Most times when it is right now, we have seen journalists that were taken. I have visited different places just to go and make sure our police are released. And when you go, let me end with this before I go to the last chance. A journalist from Somali, when I was in the president, called me from Kubo. I don't know the call. I was mentioning. In fact, since morning, that one, I saw one Lagos, PDX, no more. It's been using me at go accident. Everywhere I go accident, I have to go up to Kubo. I can't go back to town, I can't go to my house. I guess they have PSS. They concluded. I said, give me your brain. We are working. It's part of the non-governmental individuals. NGI. One man with their hands. I said, what have you done? He said, I'm working. I posted something on Facebook. It must be that I posted on Facebook that they are looking for me. I said, what you posted on Facebook? Not even what you it's not it was yesterday. I said, okay, no problem. Find a way to come and meet me in the office. He said, I said, don't catch it, just come. He came to the office. I now called the spokesperson of PSS first. Are you looking for social? He said, yeah, that point has been coming. At least they confirmed they were looking for him. I said, okay. If I bring him, you are going to make a commitment to me. And if I bring him to you, I will also go with him. He said, it's difficult. Let him talk to his dead. He spoke to DG, connected him with DG. He said, what Mr. President, I told him, he said, it's difficult, but I give you my words. You will live the fight. He listened, I called the guy, I said, let's go to the place. We went to the down there, after the normal meeting, we brought the phone, we brought that, everything. By the time we went in, they now brought out, it has nothing to do with Facebook. Because they asked him first, why do you think what you prefer? He said, well, Facebook that can post it. They now brought out something he wrote to somebody. When he was asking for money. He was actually blackmailing the government. Blackmailing some lawmakers at the national assembly. You know that? They brought the letter and dropped it. Did you write this? At that point, he was looking at me. Are you sure we'll see Libya? You know? And at that point, he had no excuse. They told him they're going to arrest him. I said, it's not part of why I was. At the end of the day, I left because the BG decided to keep to his words. They brought it the next day. We later went to those people and apologized. It was going to be a very serious issue. And as I thought that was talking about the member of the English.
Yeah.
The law of ID card. And in front of us, I will say in the mood, I will be like, what do we feel benefit from the English? That's how we feel. So please, let's be careful. Let's be very, very careful what we dish out. Finally, the chairman is asking, how do we go beyond the usual and become master of what we do? How do we build ourselves as very strong? How do we recall fake news? Words are strong. We let them out. Bringing them back is usually difficult. That's why I stress on fundamentals. Before you click on that button, publish, ask yourself, what I'm going to publish, is it good? What I'm going to publish, is it verified? What I'm going to publish, is it credible? What I'm going to publish, is it balanced? When you answer these questions in attendance, please do what? Click. But if you are not sure, pause and find out. We used to say when you are in doubt, leave out. No. We have gone beyond that. That is still the analog when you are in doubt, find out. Investigate. If it takes you the whole week to find out the truth and publish it, and it's the truth, I can tell you that you will take over the media landscape because of your credibility. That's what where premium parties taking money every day. Yeah, they don't believe in me saying I said. When you see he said I said, they just feel the reason. Their main thing is investigative journalism. They didn't have an institute for that. Previous time Center for Investigative Journalism, right? And they have also opened another institute now that is Africa-wide. Because of their, they have built it over time. There is a general saying, Rome was not built in a day. If you go to Rome, you will see it. Never can you build that kind of place. They were bringing blocks, adding blocks. Before you know it, even if it's 1 year, 2 years, 10 years, you build there. No. Credibility is not built in a day. But you can destroy it in a split second. It takes time. Keep bringing the force. Keep making it. Keep following the rules. The time comes. Thank you very much.
You're home to GTV Africa. You've just listened to the
Thank you very much. I think it deserves more. And then we can judge the answer. And quickly, when I introduced the council chair, I said she's the best in everything. Then have so many people talk about how the media She created an NGO website. If you don't see any story there and you see someone that do not take it easily, this is not correct, doesn't confirm from that website. Please, I think we deserve one of our best for that. And in several forums, I've heard her speak about the journalists must be free to do their work, press freedom. Then before she leaves, she will add, in as much as I am advocating for press freedom for my people, I also tell my people to do their job for journalism. She does not need this one. So I think when she deserves another round of applause. I think around the applause. But you don't love me to talk for CIsigizo. I enjoy every bit of the lecture. If you have no one with me, maybe to take a whole day. That I'm sure we will not have another. It's a great thing somewhere. We will now take the group photograph before we comment. We go ahead and progress with the next lecture. The lecturer has been seated, waiting for us to be ready so that he can come up. But before we quickly take the photograph, we're supposed to have come back before the lecture, but now we do it so that our president and emeritus can head out. Thank you. We need some seats here so we can carry everybody.
It is nice. It is nice to see this kind of opportunity to talk to everyone and to listen to what is going on. It is a great thing that journalists are having more knowledge to what they can make use in the future activities. That's knowledge. Knowledge is not a waste at all times. Knowledge is not a waste at all times. I would like to speak with the NUJ chairperson, but in a few seconds I'll be able to do that. And you have knowledge of why this is on. In the house, we have apart from the president of NUJ, we have one in the house, one of the lecturer that trained many journalists in the house. He's one of my lecturer too. So I'll have opportunity of talking to him and ask him as a feeling and what is the feeling like to train journalists and see some of them in the house today. Hundreds of journalists are taking lectures and before the house we move out to take good photographs. I would like to find out from the chairperson of NJ why do you decided to bring journalists to KP and give them knowledge?
Well, my name is Besike. I'm the chairman of the Nigeria Union of Journalists, FCT. For me, this program is symbolic, and I believe in training and retraining of journalists. And this time around, it's not just about journalists, it's also about information officers. And when you train people, you invest in them, and nothing gives me joy and more satisfaction than to see the NUJ FCT invest in capacity building, because people are the greatest asset of any institution or profession. So when you invest in training, you invest in knowledge. Well, excellence. When you invest in knowledge, you elevate the credibility of your institution. And when communication officers become better, governance becomes clearer, engagement becomes stronger, democracy becomes more healthy, and this will also make them more effective and more efficient, in carrying out their duties. Hence, the topic or the theme for this year, improving image making of communication officers. So for me, this is a step in the right direction, leaving the Federal Capital Territory, that's the capital of Abuja, to Kefi, is to also let them leave their comfort zone and come to where they will not be disturbed, and they will learn, not just learn, they will unlearn, not just unlearn, they will also rethink about their profession.
Thank you so much for your time. I have a man that is close by. The man, when you look at him, you know that the changes has occurred in his life. It's somebody that is a close fellow, my lecturer. Good morning.
Good morning.
Your name?
Dr. Nicholas Igbonagu.
For those of you that may not know, Dr. Nicholas at the present is not the same face that you used to know. Looking at him today, you can see that my doctor is one of the people that you love to see. Doctor, why are you here to join NUJ in this kind of
Well, we have always been a stakeholder in journalism profession. Upholding the interests of journalists and making it better has always been our watchword. So in any way we can support journalists, we're always available.
What will be your topic? What is it? What are you taking from your topic?
I'm going to be taking them on 3 topics, 2 for today and 1 tomorrow. The first one is role of information officers in government and other institutions, and also building trust among citizenry, for government organizations, and also public relations in government establishments. So these 3 areas are the areas that I'm going to be talking about, because I was made to believe that most of the participants here are information officers working directly for government establishments.
Yeah.
So our topic and discussions gonna be focusing on how governments and other institutions, that belong to the same genre can make their image better than what it is at the moment.
Thank you so much for your time. For the benefit of those that might not be in the air, I assure you that you can as well join later. If you are yet to subscribe to GTV Africa, you are missing. Kindly subscribe so that you'll be part of whatsoever that is going on. And GTV is having privilege to show, to bring to you. When you talk of original information, you know that we give accurate information. Anything as regard to fake news part of us, and I assure you that you will be good and be happy that we are doing that for you. Let us be the bridge builder. Let's bridge the gap between you and the activities that is going on. Till I come back again, I'm Bibiga Olamikon. Thank you. Bye for now.